Rashid Rahal, codename Gizmo, is the fourth operator added in the Engineer class in Season 7 of Delta Force. In today's video, we'll be discussing his unlock criteria, weapon selection, abilities, and playstyle. In order to unlock Gizmo, just like previous operators, you simply need to reach level 15 in the Battle Pass. Now don't worry, as he is a free unlock, so you don't actually need to purchase the Battle Pass if you don't want to, albeit there's some pretty cool skins this season. Gizmo, being a part of the Engineer class of operators, has access to 11 assault rifles, 4 shotguns, 4 LMGs, and 1 marksman rifle. Now let's get into Gizmo's abilities. His passive is called Firewall, and it's a pretty straightforward ability. Whenever you are near a deployable of yours, be it the smoke mine or crawler nest, Gizmo gains a buff that slightly improves his weapon control. I did a quick side-by-side here in which I'm not controlling the recoil at all, and you can see on the right that the weapon goes up slightly less than on the left, which is without a deployable nearby. Now, is it enough to warrant always making it a habit to have a deployable nearby in every engagement? Probably not, but then again, his whole setup encourages you to do so you might as well have them deployed nearby. Moving on to Gizmo's active abilities, his throwable is a smoke mine. Much like Shepard's, it can stick to hard surfaces like walls, containers, or HESCO barriers, for example, as well as the ground. Whenever someone walks near it, the smoke mine will detonate, covering a decently large area in smoke. Not only this, but any enemy that enters the smoke will be slowed. The mine can be detonated by hovering over it with your camera and hitting the keybind, in my case F, but you can also shoot at it. And much like Shepard's ability, once again, you can recall them by hitting H. When doing this, the mine isn't usable right away, there is a short cooldown. The mine has a range of 70 meters before it starts to destroy itself, meaning you can't be more than 69 meters away from your deployables at any given time. Your max carrying capacity for the mines is 2, and when you are out or have one deployed but none stocked, you can resupply the other one via resupply stations or ammo boxes. You don't have to wait for it to regenerate by itself. They are incredibly effective on choke point areas to prevent players from charging through, as it will not only catch them off guard, but also slow them down, making them easier to hit. It is even more useful in combination with his next ability, which is his crawler nest. In a very similar fashion, the crawler nest is a deployable that you can put on the ground, but not on vertical surfaces. The nest contains 3 small crawlers that are triggered by an enemy when they pass nearby. The crawler tracks the enemy until it explodes when it is close enough, causing immediate damage and applying corrosion, which increases the amount of damage they take from bullets for a short period. Should the enemy be in the smoke created by the smoke mine, they will also be spotted for you when affected by the corrosion. You can also manually trigger the crawler nest similarly to the smoke, as well as recall it. If you trigger it, all 3 crawlers will go out of the nest sequentially, and then the crawler nest will be destroyed. The nest will also be destroyed if you are 70 meters or more from it for more than a few seconds. Unlike the mine, the crawler nest is not resupplied by stations or ammo crates. You do have to wait for it to come back and regenerate by itself. But the crawlers themselves can be shot at and destroyed by anyone that is quick enough to shoot at them before they explode and cause damage and apply corrosion. Gizmo's last ability is called TIM, which is short for Tenacious Interception Module. You basically deploy a small spider-like robot forward that can track enemies nearby. When TIM comes into contact with an enemy, it fires a restraining net that limits the enemy's mobility, prevents ADS, and disables their gadgets while they are netted. If an enemy is affected by corrosion when you deploy TIM, it will immediately track them and make its way to net them. Much like Luna's Volt Arrow, the enemy operator that is netted will be prompted to remove the net to get free. But more often than not, being netted results in the operator's untimely demise, as you are for sure lurking nearby when you deploy your TIM. And I myself have rarely gotten out of a situation in which I was netted unless somebody was there to have my back. It is to note that TIM can net multiple enemies if they are close enough to each other, and I have seen this, albeit it doesn't say it in the description of the ability. I have seen it, so just be aware. TIM is a great way to push areas, rooms, doorways, corridors, anything of the sorts. Because if you put TIM through there first, if there's somebody just lurking around, crouching in a corner, TIM will detect them and then net them, allowing you to push through and potentially kill them quite easily. So a great way to flush out enemies. As for gadgets, Gizmo has access to the same variety as the other Engineer operators, these being the Javelin, AT-4, wire-guided Stinger, and EMP launcher, as well as the Flamethrower, Active Denial System, and the Anti-Tank Mines. Gizmo's suite of abilities make him incredibly good at holding objectives, defending choke points, or any point of interest on maps. The name of the game to get the most out of him is really combining his abilities together as they all synergize off of each other. Setting down a crawler nest in the corner on the other side of a doorway with a smoke mine strapped to the roof is just plain evil, and if the enemy doesn't die from it because you're right there as well, at the very least they are strongly encouraged to go right back where they came from. It's honestly somewhat of a mystery to me why Gizmo's in the engineer class of operators. He could have just as easily been a support of some kind, but then again, I suppose Shepard is also a very good defensive operator, so maybe engineer is the right choice for Gizmo. I've played against some very good Gizmos, and he can be a nightmare to go up against when the player puts themselves in the right situation and defensive position. I would imagine he is even more useful and powerful in operations and can make certain pushes just feel impossible. If you play with a friend, maybe get them to play Seneva and just hold doorways while Seneva has the EOD set on, and that is just a way to make people quit the game, honestly. It's probably really effective at killing anyone that comes through that doorway, even more so than just Seneva by himself. I would definitely say Gizmo is probably more suited for CQB maps or areas of the maps that are much more clustered together and have a lot of cover and stuff like that. Not so much on the open maps like Ascension and stuff like that, albeit you could probably make him work on certain objectives. I would probably much rather play Uluru, but on maps like Shafted, Knife Edge, Cracked, even some sections of Threshold and stuff like that, he is very effective at defending the objectives and catching people off guard. But that'll do it for my Gizmo operator guide. If you think I missed any tips, please leave them in the comment section down below. Hit the like button if you enjoyed the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and as always, thank you very much for watching. I really appreciate it, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Have a good one.